Hello, guys. Good morning. It's great to have you with me right now. I want to share something that is very personal to me, something that affected me so much that I decided to do something about. It's been a problem that have bugged my mind for a long time now. While growing up, I had this particular challenge, and I believe many of us did too. A challenge of not having adequate facilities to learn while in our secondary school days, especially while I was trying to take practicals in the laboratory. We lacked models that would have helped us to understand basic concepts better. And once we're able to see, feel, touch, and manipulate, we would have been able to get the ideas much more better than reading them from textbooks and then having to cram them and passing the examinations just because we crammed this information. I got to the secondary school, got to the university rather, then came out and I met this same challenge and I decided that I must do something about it. So while having some learners with me, I decided to take this idea into my hands in order to do something about it. However, I had some challenges. I wanted to see the laboratories well equipped. Suffice it to say, if you try to get a model this day of the eye, the brain, the heart, whatever model you want to get, you would be spending nothing less than 12,000 naira to get one single model in your laboratory. All right, so if you are a school owner, this is one of the challenges you face. And if you are a teacher, you want to get models, you would be considering spending a lot of money. So I thought about this and decided that I must do something about it. So I engaged my learners to make them make models from paper mache. So we made models of different types with paper mache. I'll be showing you some of these models that we made in subsequent videos. However, we made these models and they were very handy, lovely. They served beautiful purposes because now I had learning aids which I could use in classes and pass my information without stress. Once I'm able to demonstrate or show or display what I am trying to pass across, the students get this information and get the idea very fast and easily. That is my aim, and I have always desired this. However, there was still some challenges that I had in mind and they disturbed me a lot. And I wanted students to be able to have access to these models right in their homes. They were supposed to have access to these models right in their homes. That is what I really wanted. So I tried to see if I could get miniature models, okay, as smaller bits of these models, and then have them in the students' hands as kits, complete sets of perhaps all anatomical parts of the body and other items that they would be learning, all packed in a kit, so that when they desire to study any of these, all they needed to do was to pick up a model and study the model. All right, so this is what I aimed to do. However, I had challenges of how to get these miniature models. I called our local laboratory technician or supplier rather and asked if he could help me with any of such miniature models. So he tried, he called all those who he knew, and there was no one who had such miniature models. I felt disappointed, very disappointed indeed. So the next thing I tried to do was to go online. So I went online, I searched all platforms, especially Amazon and eBay, to see if I could get such miniature models. And all to my disappointment, because The ones I actually saw were in bits and pieces. They were used as Halloween materials, Halloween designs, and uh, some came with key holders, just funny designs. And even when I attempted to get those ones that were designed for Halloween, maybe to improvise, use them and see what I could do with them, they were quite costly. And you get about a set of six for about over 50,000 naira. That was the cost at the time. So I tried getting that set of six with my credit card, all to no avail. It was a whole lot of disappointment because it was not accepting my card. I was also have a PayPal account, which I hadn't at the time, and so everything was quite difficult. I lost it. I just gave up on that and retreated from searching because I think I searched so many platforms, taking my time to search so many platforms. All right, so I tried to do the next thing. I contacted some companies, industries that I knew were into molding of making molds from different materials. So I called to know if they could make me molds so that I could design my own anatomical body parts for my students. And I also met with another roadblock, all right, a wall, because they told me that I cannot actually get such models in Nigeria, or I could not actually get such molds rather in Nigeria. The only way to get such a mold was if I could access companies in China and have them make these molds for me, then send down to Nigeria, which when I calculated the cost was quite expensive. I don't think I would have afforded at the time to venture into such investments. And I never even knew I never knew what the return would be for me. So I did not attempt venturing into that area at all. So all the calls I made were all disappointed. I was so disappointed. And so I decided to do the next thing. I did not give up. That is one thing I loved about all the efforts I was making. I never gave up. I gave up rather. I did not allow the disappointments that were coming left and right to make me to give up, right? So the next thing I did was to go online. I went on YouTube to see how I could make my own molds. I needed molds, and I thought about it. I could make my own molds, right? So how can I go about making the molds? Will I use metal? Will I use plastics? Will I use wood? I had to make my molds, So I went online. I went on YouTube. I browsed. I think I watched over 100 videos, um, and browsed various websites to get to know how to make my own molds, to make these models. So I eventually stumbled on some ideas which I picked and pieced up. So I picked various ideas from different videos and suggestions, and I pieced them up and decided that I would go with silicone. And I searched online as well to see if I could get any shops in Nigeria, outlets where I could buy silicone, because I could not be going all over the whole Lagos looking for silicone actually. And lo and behold, it's actually a very rare material to get. Here in Lagos, quite almost impossible. But I got a link and a connection at Benin, which I felt this was going to be something I need to trust the person in order to send the amount of money, which was a bit much for the quantity of silicone I needed at the time. I'd been swindled and scammed online, trying to get some materials, and I sent my money and they were scammers. So I was having these doubts in my mind. However, went forward with it, and it wasn't a disappointment at all because the guy proved to be trustworthy. He proved to be honest and helpful. He actually assisted me, guided me in the various process I had to pass through. He was experienced. He was doing something like that. Mind you, silicone is actually used to produce various body parts that are used as prosthetics in various hospitals, in case you don't know. So you can use silicone to make almost anything you wish to make. Yes, down for even today it is used to make various teeth for those who have lost theirs, and very very okay. The medical silicone is actually harmless when put in the mouth. So I contacted him and I got to know that a 50 cl bottle of this silicone, having two of this 50 cl bottle will cost me about say 16,000 naira. I did not mind and I went for it. So I paid 16,000 naira and it was brought down from Benin down to Lagos. I started my work on it and I made my first molds. It came out fine. I needed something else to help me make my molds come out fine. I needed some type of clay materials. So I used all of this. I made my mold and then I went on to the next thing. So what would I now use to make my models? I had to think about it. I decided that I would go for plastic, and this was going to solve another problem, which is the plastic waste that we have all over the country today. We have thousands of tons of plastic that are released into our environment on a daily basis. So I thought about it. Why not create two solutions for one purpose I had in mind? So I had one purpose, but I would now create two solutions to uh, solve one major problem. So the other solution was to remove plastic waste from our community. So I decided to use plastic waste and it turned out very fine. Although the initial process of selecting the best plastics that would work for my project was tedious. I had a lot of trial and errors, guys. So I would not want you to pass through the same thing. That's the beauty of having a coach. A coach is one who has experienced the real thing. He has actually had the difficult times. He did tests, trials and errors, failed so many times, and then got it right, so that you don't have to pass through those trials and errors. You learn the right way to do it straight away without dabbling, going round and round. You hit your target immediately, and I believe I could be your coach. I could help you if you are interested in this line or towing this direction. So I went for that and I got it right after so many trials. I have pictures of me doing these things. In case you want to see, I could share with you. So this is original work. There are no two forms of it. I've started my patent right on it so that it should not be duplicated. You need some form of permission I would grant, and then you can also proceed with making yours, which is very important. All right. So meanwhile, I went ahead with making these things, which also turned out very well. Behind me, you see the models. This is the mold. You take a look at this. This is the mold. This is just one of the mold. Okay, and this is also a mold. Okay, this is also a mold. These are all molds, and I made them using silicone. I would love to show you how to do the same too. Now I now had the challenge of how to use plastics to make the models. I will be sharing all of the process with you, how to go about it. I would like to guide you. If you are interested, just hit me up on the message button below. I would love to guide you on how to go about every bit of it so that you don't have to waste time doing your trial and errors. All right, so I would help you. I was able to make my kits. I will tell you how I used plastic, by the way, because you have to also consider the health hazards of using plastics. So let's see the models. All right, so here I have the molded plastics. Without this has not been designed yet. Okay, that's not been designed yet, but this has been designed. This has been designed a little. All right, and this has been designed too. You see there, designed, and we have much more. We have much more. We have much more. Okay, so that's the heart, the kidney, and much more. So we have many of these things in our kits here. We have the kit. This is the kit, and we have what is much more interesting is what we did next. We took it to a whole new level. I took it to a whole new level by making it easy for students to understand. So each body part and the part have color codes. These color codes have cards. All right, these cards are meant to help students to understand very clearly what they are learning. All right, so you hit up the subscribe button and get to follow up the next level of what we'll be releasing to you. It's going to be very educative, very nice, interesting. I would love to see you there. I would love to have you follow up to your own benefit. All right, so take care and have a nice day.